Hi traders, welcome to the daily video analysis for the 29th of May. Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. And as we go into the New York session, we've had the GDP figures, we've had the FOMC statement from last night, and the dollar has gone stronger, but looking like it's going weaker right now. I'll cover that in the next few minutes. But first, let me go over the gold on steroids. Remember what we're looking for. Is we are looking for the price to go below the 50 moving average, below the 50 moving average, or above the 50 moving average, above the 50 moving average. So they are your trading opportunities. Okay, so that's the first thing. Whenever the price moves above, and if so, you have a buy signal here above the 50, another buy signal here above the 50, and everything goes green. Okay, so now if you want to trade off the 10-minute chart, you can do that. So just come into the 10-minute chart. I put mine side by side, and we can see that the buys are still in. Okay, so you are looking for the price to move above the 50 exactly the same way. 10-minute chart, 10-minute chart, they're your trading opportunities. So 32.90 goes to 33.16. So what now? So one thing that is great is it tells you where the targets are. So 33.20 is going to be highly significant, but it's whether the price is actually going to have a rejection at the 33.20. So one of the questions came in, so do we sell it at the supply zone or buy it on the demand zone? That's the aggressive approach. It's totally up to you. So you can put in a limit order here 33.20 and a stop 33.28, and that will get you into the position with a fantastic risk to reward of 5.56. However, if you want to wait for the change of character, then you have to wait for the price to break down below the 50 moving average, and it will if it decides it wants to go down like this. So there's probably a supply zone here previously, and then you wait for the breakdown here, and the price falls and falls and falls and falls and falls and falls. The other thing we've got, of course, is the target to aim for if it does break down. The other thing you can do, of course, is just put them side to side and see that the rejection point, if that's what you prefer, at 33.20, and then get in once it breaks down. Now, it may not do it immediately, of course. It might take an hour or so or longer to break down, but it's a much safer way to enter. If you've got everything red and falling down, then that's a much more safe entry. And one thing I would say is hold on to the position. What I mean by that is as the price falls down, if that's what you're looking to do, then just hold it while the price is holding on to the 50. Then that may be your exit strategy there. As it breaks down below the 50, your exit strategy may be here. But what you're doing, you're actually encouraging yourself or training yourself to actually hold on to a position which is going to be highly, highly profitable. So that's 242 pips to there. 200 pips seems to be the maximum before it actually starts to make them. But there's 360 pips, or maybe more, probably more there. Below the 50, yeah, 420 pips there, traders. So don't be surprised how far it goes when it goes. If you've been trading this morning, I know some of you have, above the 50, then that to there is 162 pips. Another bullish move here, New York bull sign there, and the price has gone 341 pips. So don't be surprised how much money you make. Just hold on to the position as long as you can. That's the key. Now it's heading into 33.20, so we'll see whether there's any rejection in the next hour or so. Let's go into the markets and see what's going on. DXY. Looks like New York Open has started to weaken the dollar, but it's definitely not parabolic. Can you see this? On the left, we don't have all the sellers in, so this is not parabolic, but it is probably going to turn out to be that way in the next 24 hours or so. depends really. We have our weekly Forex forecast to 98.00, which is the demand area. So the chances of this weakening further are relatively high, but not really. It's not motoring away to the downside, is it? As you can see, we've got a buy signal into this convergence area on this downtrend here. But markets are looking mixed in terms of the dollar at the moment, so we're going to have to wait for this to pan out in the next 24 hours or so. Now, in terms of the yen futures, also very mixed, as you can see. Not parabolic. We don't have all the sellers in, all the buyers in. Once we get all the sellers in or all the buyers in, then that's parabolic, and that's when we can actually make a lot of money. But the yens are mixed. But what we can see from this is the price now achieving higher lows, and probably going to start to react in the next 24 hours to the upside and head for 73.27 on the left from the weekly Forex forecast. So I think what we're likely to see is this start to convert back into an uptrend, into a stronger yen futures, which means we will be looking at selling off all the yen pairs in the next 24 hours or so. Swiss franc futures, similar, very mixed, but this is parabolic. We can mark it parabolic to the upside. So if we can see, this is very choppy on the 4-hour time frame, like many charts at the moment. But I think this will start to continue upwards in the next 24 hours to 12443, which is a weekly Forex target here. That being said, once this does start to rally a little bit, then we can actually start to sell off all the Swiss pairs, Euro Swiss, Pound Swiss, Canadian Swiss, etc. Now, in terms of the indices, looking very mixed indeed. There's not much really we can say about this. I need to come to the... We've seen a rally on the S&P 500. Congratulations if you've seen that on the daily chart. But we can see that this is not going anywhere particularly fast. 6144 is the target, but it's not achieving high highs, and certainly not above the 20 moving average. So I know some of you are trading the indices, but on a much shorter time frame. You might want to day trade the indices if that's what you do. And a lot of people are very successful at day trading the indices, so if you want to do that, you can. But we can see this price is not achieving high highs below the 20, so likely to rally, but nothing really confirmed. Hang Seng, you can see this achieving lower lows and lower highs, so you may see a change there, but nothing significant. Aussie 200, 2 trades going on previously in the last month or so, but that's what you're looking for. Fresh buy above the 20, that's a much stronger trend, or a sell signal below the 20, that's what you're looking for. We've got the price below the 20 but no sell. That's very easy to, the fantastic thing about the advanced pro charts, it gives you very, very high quality trades. You don't want to be trading anything just because it's moving. Looks like price on gold is starting to reject 33.18, reject 33.20. Dow Jones index looks like this wants to sell, doesn't it? Again, look out for this. Patience, discipline are required. Once you see the price achieving higher highs, higher lows, everything goes green. Everything goes green. That's how the advanced pro charts works for anybody at any asset at any time frame. Again, Nasdaq had a bit of a rally because there's been an injunction to stop the tariffs. That might be temporary, as you can see. Nothing confirmed. Silver is parabolic to the upside, but not moving at all. Completely sideways, as you can see here on the advanced pro charts. Gold being rejected, 33.17. So you can go short now if you wish. It's more aggressive. Make sure it stops above the supply zone. 33.29 is a good odd number. So gold is not parabolic. I think it will go. If the dollar collapses, as I think it may do, this will drive the gold higher to 34.64. I would say this week, but we've only got today, Friday, so maybe into next week, of course. Okay, let's get into Forex, euro dollar. If we look on the left, we can see that it's no longer parabolic. This is a very weak market. It's not achieving high highs, and it is on a pullback, but very low volumes. Have a look here at this tool here, fantastic tool in the advanced pro charts, which tells us whether the price is going much higher or much lower, and we can see that there's very low volumes in the market today. So this is not my favorite trade. Now this is not too bad. There's no volume in the market, as you can see. However, have a look at the price. Price is below the 20 moving average. So this is a very weak signal on the right. It probably will go up because of the weakening of the dollar, but this is not ideal because we want to see the price move above the 20. That is highly significant and a much safer trade. As we can see, have a look at this on the left here. As the price moves up, you get a big, fat, juicy buy signal with very high volume, and all the buys are in. So that is a very strong signal. This is a very weak signal. So understanding the quality of the signals is really important. The Kiwi, again, this is highly significant because it also tells us that this is not a legitimate buy signal. We can see on the left, if I enlarge this, we can actually see that the price is achieving lower highs. Okay, so this is not doing much at all. So this is doing this, and the lower lows are doing this. So there needs to be a breakout somewhere. This is what you want to see. Okay, above the 20 and bullish with all the buyers coming in and very high volumes, and then you've got a really nice trade there. Not seeing that so far. So here's the US Canadian. We are expecting a downward move here. We have very high price cycle here within a downtrend. As we can see, the overall trend is down into a pivot. I would prefer to see this in a supply zone up here somewhere, but it's not doing that. So I do expect the price to pull up something like this and then move down to 137.02 very, very shortly. So we're only looking at parabolic trends because that's the key to your success. Now, here's a good move. We had this a few days ago, didn't we? The pound Aussie done a lovely move here. But as we can see, very, very quickly, you can suss out whether there's any kind of trade going on the pound Aussie. So what does this tell us? It tells us that it's parabolic to the upside. We keep it that way. However, we can see also that it's reached its target for this week into the supply zone. So what this tells us is that probably it's going to move down before it actually eventually goes back up again. And that's exactly what we're seeing. So we need to see a deeper position here before we even consider this trade. But that's how easy it is to use the advanced pro chart so that you can get into the position and have high quality trades. Euro Canadian is to the downtrend and all the sellers are in, as we can see on the left, which is interesting, but have a look at the overall trend. So its weekly target is 153.96, and whether the price goes down that far is completely irrelevant. But we can see that there is support for this price in the long-term trend, as you can see. So achieving higher lows as an example, but not higher highs. So it's forming a wedge formation, if you like, a long-term one. And I think what we're going to see is something like this. Something like that. And what will happen is, in the next few days, we're going to probably see a breakout to the upside, and when all the buyers will step in. Aussie Canadian, what's going on there? Yeah, oh yes, right, okay. So this is in a downtrend on the daily. Eventually, once it catches up, and the price is doing nothing. So I do expect the price to come up into this area, 89.40, before it heads for 88.20, somewhere down there. There's no day trades today because the markets are just not suitable. There are speeches going on which might be the reason for that. Who knows? Euro New Zealand to the downside, but very similar to the Euro Canadian here, isn't it? Can you see that? The price is moving down into demand, possibly in the next few days. And then you may see it bounce up on convergence here. But we need to wait for this position to sort itself out. We could see a breakout in the next few days. Aussie New Zealand, this actually doesn't look too bad in terms of the daily chart. Have a look at that big fat sell signal. Then all the sellers are coming in to 106.83. Trade at your own risk. Just make sure your stop is at 108.26 and above, so you can trade that at your will. Now if you're a swing trader, just wait for it to come back up to 108.50 ish and then start to move down. Just flicking through now, charts are looking very messy indeed. Now the yens are looking, have gone parabolic. By definition, all the buyers are in. But we had this trade yesterday on the Swiss yen. If you're a day trader, congratulations, but nothing else going on. Got a big fat buy signal here on the euro yen, but I'm just not convinced of this at the moment. I do want to see if I am going to trade this. I am going to wait for the price to come down and for the price cycle to come down into an area where it's likely to bounce. And then I'll be going long. New Zealand yen. Look on the left. That's your target. It's been hit, 86.95. So we now wait for the yens to sort themselves out. I'm just flicking through at the moment, see if there's anything going on. Very mixed on the Aussie yen. You can see that here. Canadian yen, all the buyers are in, but it's in a massive downtrend. I think what's happening here, the yen futures are sorting themselves out. As I mentioned earlier, looks like they want to go strong, but not confirmed yet. And the pound yen, well, you had a trade yesterday. Some of you traded this yesterday. Congratulations on a day trade. But now looking very mixed indeed. Bitcoin, let's have a look at Bitcoin. Again, not looking strong. No strong buy signals and not parabolic. Euro pound has gone mixed, as we can see. Not all the sellers are in now, so we could find that the price bites and then changes direction. There is a long-term uptrend here, so this could convert into a buy shortly. Price is rejected 33.20. That's a good sign. It's likely to fall now. If you're not short now, then, well, as it turned out, that would have been a good trade because you are now 80 pips in profit. If you want to wait, then you can just wait for the price to break down below the 50. Once it breaks below down the 50, you just use the 50 as your stop loss. So let's have a look at this. So if you get in here, let's say you're going to make sure the price is just above the 50 and then go whatever you want to go. So below the 50, another example, just make sure your stop is below above the 50 and to just wait for it to convert. It will. If it's going to go down, it will go down, but good trading with that. Hopefully you're finding that very useful. So really not much going on, I think, is the name of the game today. But I think we're waiting for the dollar to sort itself out, the DXY. We're waiting for the yen futures to sort themselves out. And I think we will know in the next 24 hours if we're going to see a weaker dollar and a stronger yen.